Welcome back again to the Bitcoin Business Bureau. I'm your host as always, LitecoinLeader. Once again, I'm up at the whiteboard trying to squeeze myself in as I talk about this, but the primary focus is going to be the whiteboard again. Now, I'm going to post the first two versions of this series on borrowing asset-backed loans and borrowing against your assets, such as cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and the like. I'm going to continue to do that. This is part 3 now. The first part that I explained, and none of this is financial advice. Not financial advice. Okay, I'm going to be clear on that. First one I talked about was about using two houses. That's the stuff in blue. And in the second one, I named the houses Bitcoin 1 and Bitcoin 2. And just as a reminder, instead of a mortgage, we get an asset-backed loan using Bitcoin. And our example in episode 2, we wound up with 1.5 Bitcoin. We started with 1 Bitcoin. We started with 1 Bitcoin, and when we concluded, we actually had 1.5 Bitcoin, and we wound up with a loan of 50,000 because we borrowed against the 50% against that Bitcoin, and the Bitcoin's worth 100,000. So we have a loan of 50,000, and we have a payment of roughly, I am just ballparking this, at $500 a month. All right, so these are two liabilities. So yeah, whenever you have a balance sheet, you have liabilities and assets. So I have 1.5 Bitcoin of an asset. Okay, and then I have a credit line. Now the credit line is always 50% of your assets. Okay. Oh, so I'll say credit over here. So as soon as I deposited the Bitcoin, I got 1 Bitcoin. It gave me a credit line of 50% of that Bitcoin. And because Bitcoin is worth 100,000, I had a $50,000 credit line. I used that $50,000 credit line to borrow against. I took the whole thing, bought a half a Bitcoin with it, and now my credit line actually went up because my credit line is always 50% of my assets. So 50% of my assets is 0.75 Bitcoin, which in this example is $75,000 in value. Okay, so I have a liability of $50,000 loan because that's what I used to buy the other half of Bitcoin. But I now have 1.5 Bitcoins. So it really depends on what your philosophy is, but if you think that Bitcoin is going to go up and outpace the dollar value, you want to turn as many dollars into Bitcoin. So you should be happy now. You have more Bitcoin. Yes, you have a loan that you have to service, but your credit line is $25,000 bigger than your loan. So this can pay your $500 a month to pay off that loan, or pay that loan until in the future when this asset goes up in value, much like when a house goes up in value. So just to go back, what real estate investors do is they leverage, or they use these assets to recapitalize their business and then buy more assets. So this is what we've done here. We used an asset, recapitalized it by taking out that credit loan, and now we have more assets. So we talked about the payments one more time, and now we talked about the loan to value. Your loan to value is 33%. It is 50K. Your loan to value, which let's put it over here underneath the loan. So my loan to value equals 50. I cannot write a 5 sideways. Divided by, so that's 50K, that's my loan, and my value is 150. Another 5, lovely. So that's 33%. And that is this number over this number. And 1.5 Bitcoin in this example is $150,000. So now my loan to value is 33%. All right? Now, so that looks great. Question I often get asked at this point is, what happens if Bitcoin drops suddenly? Well, let's say that Bitcoin goes from worth 100,000 and it drops down to 50,000. Well, then I will be at 50. If Bitcoin is 50K, then I would drop to 50, same loan. I had the same loan, and that's not legible anymore. So if I were to drop that, if Bitcoin is now 50K, I would go to 50K. That's my loan over 75K because I have 1.5 of the Bitcoins, even though they got cut in value. So now my loan is 67% loan to value. Okay? So that is still perfectly fine according to NEXO, because NEXO has a magic number called a margin call number of 83. As long as your loan to value is not bigger than 83%, you're fine. So the Bitcoin can drop even further. It can actually drop down to 40,000, because then this number would be 60,000, and 5 over 6 happens to be exactly 83%. So they will send you an email and let you know, because I played with NEXO enough to know this, and I pushed it to its limits to know this. They will send you an email at around 70% and around 75% and said, hey, keep an eye on this. You may either want to pay down your balance, which we don't want to do. We don't want to put more dollars back in the system. Not financial advice, just saying that if you believe that you want more Bitcoin as much as you can, you don't want to pay down the loan. That's not the objective here. The objective is to get more Bitcoin and control it. So if Bitcoin starts to drop, remember, way back when we started, we had 2 assets, not 1. We had either 2 houses or 2 Bitcoin. If this starts to drop down and get too low, we add part of or the entire second Bitcoin so that we can improve this loan to value number. Because if Bitcoin dropped down to $40,000 and this would be 50 over 60, we can add another Bitcoin. Now it becomes 50 over 100, because that other Bitcoin was worth 40,000. So now it would become 50 over 100. Yes, there'd be 2.5 Bitcoin sitting here, but your loan to value would be back to 50%, because it'd be 50 over 100. So I hope that was easy to understand. So that is why I like NEXO, because the margin number on NEXO is the highest I've found. I looked at Celsius, the number is 65, which is very close to this number. So you see, when Bitcoin would get to 50,000, you'd be in a danger zone with Celsius, whereas I could go all the way down to 40,000 and still be marginally okay with NEXO. So NEXO gives you more breathing room because the margin number is higher for your loan to value to be safe. So that covered how payments go. That covered how the margin call works. And that tells you why I like NEXO over Celsius. So I think that's it for part 3. I'm going to stop here. I'm going to wait for feedback from everybody, see what they say about this series. What did you think? Did you learn something? What did you learn? Did I explain it well? What was complicated? What did I not explain very well and need to try again? That's the wonderful thing about making these videos. It's an interactive process. Leave a comment below. Let me know what you think, and like and subscribe and share, because this is really how you become your own bank. And this is what Michael Saylor talks about, and a number of other people talk about. As I slow down my speaking once again. Too much caffeine some days. So, a lot said today. I'm going to relax, let you absorb all 3 episodes, and await your feedback. So, a lot said today. You close the door on the bureau, say follow leader one last time, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care.